Okay, here we are, day 3. So today we're going to learn how to do some windows and doors and some brick. So first thing I'm going to do, first thing I want to review, you guys. Review how to make sure you're using this triangle correctly. So whenever we're drawing our vertical lines, remember, or any vertical line, if I'm drawing like the base of the pole, for a street light or a stop sign, or I'm drawing the vertical part of the building, or I'm drawing a vertical part of a window or a door, I want to make sure I've taken the time to take that base of that triangle and align it with the edge of the paper. If I go like this, I'm going to be a little off and it's going to look like Crooked City, USA. We do not want that. So make sure you're nice and even. If I'm drawing the top or the bottom of a window or a door or a building, you want to make sure you take the base of the triangle and you line it up with the side of the paper. So that one is parallel with that one, is parallel with that one, is parallel with that, is parallel with that, is parallel with the top of that. And then I'm going to take it, I'm flipping it over, taking my triangle and just flipping it to that side. Make sure it's even. Drawing that, drawing that, drawing that. These are all parallel. Okay, so, and then when I'm finding the depth of something, I'm using the vanishing point. So vanishing point, if I put my ruler, if we were in class and I was to come around to your desk and I was to put my triangle or my ruler on the roofs, the sides of the building, the tops of the sides of the building that face the street, the roof, I would, it should line up right there. So if your lines are all correct, you can do a quick check now of your paper to make sure that you have got that right. So that would be even. That looks good. So do that for all of your buildings. Okay, let's draw some some windows. So let's say I want to have a window right here on the side of that building there. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a big square, like a square inside of a square. So I'm lining up, taking the time to align the bottom of the triangle with the bottom of the paper. This window would go back behind this building. So I'm going to go right to that, but I'm leaving a little bit of space between the window and the edge of the building. Then I'm going to come to the side, same thing. Leaving a little space from the window to the top of the building there. So I'm kind of making a frame. Just a little smaller rectangle within that other rectangle that's there. So now I'm going to subdivide this now into other windows. So let's say I want to go make some long, narrow windows. So I can do that by lining that up here. I'm going to draw a line from top to bottom. If you're a perfectionist, you can measure that. Me, I'm not a well, with perspective drawing, I'm a kind of perfectionist because you have to be, but I'm not going to measure it. All right, so then once I have that, now look at it, kind of looks like a jail there with some jail bars, but I'm going to erase, now there's a little pencil line in between each of these windows, so I'm going to erase those. So now it looks like I have 3 long windows, and then I have to erase this part of the horizon line. Well, I can't erase that real well because I drew too dark. And then I forgot to erase this one because I sat this building right in front of the horizon line. So anywhere where you sat the building, you have to go back and erase that horizon line. I got into a hurry last time. I don't think I did that. Okay. So now if I want to make these into smaller windows, let's say I want to make like a apartment complex. So I'm coming down a little bit, like however big I want to make that window. Draw a line from one side to the other, one side to the other, one side to the other. This is why triangle is so nice, you guys, because you can see through it. Like right now, because I'm way down here, and the way I'm having to do this with my camera, I would have a hard time seeing that. So now I'm going to erase this little space in between. Then I'm going to do the same thing, come down here, draw a line from side to side, side to side, side to side, come down a smidgen. Draw a line from side to side, side to side, side to side, and then erase the space in between. Now I've kept these windows fairly big just so it's not taking me forever to demonstrate this. You can make yours a little smaller if you want. Okay, then I'm going to draw one more bottom of that one. And then the bottom of this would be pretty much even right here. So again, I'm gonna erase that space in between. Now to do the same thing on the side of the building that faces the street, for the top and the bottom of the building, I have to use that vanishing point. So I'm gonna take I like to put my pencil right on the vanishing point and then kind of pivot my ruler from that. So I'll put it on the roof, and that gives me an opportunity to make sure I have that roof in the right spot. Then I'm gonna come down about the same as I did in the front and draw the top of my windows. And then now I would pivot this way down. So down here, the bottom of my window would be back behind this building, so I'm not gonna draw the bottom of it. You know what, I will, just to show you guys how to do it. But you could not have to see the bottom of your window. I'm gonna do it like even with this one. So that's gonna be the side of the window. Now, I have to take the triangle to the bottom of the paper, and I'm gonna make sure it's even, so it's even. I wanna eyeball and make sure it's even with the side of that building too. And then draw the line straight down. Draw my line straight down. Now I'm gonna subdivide it. This time I'm gonna subdivide it with the vertical first. The horizontal first. Draw a line down, connected to my vanishing point, coming down a smidgen, connecting to my vanishing point. Then I'm gonna erase, erase, come back to my vanishing point, drawing the space in between these two windows now. Then I'm gonna erase, I'm gonna erase. Okay, now I'm gonna subdivide it again. So on this side, I'm gonna have just 2 windows instead of 3. So again, I'm gonna make sure that's even. Top to bottom, top to bottom. I'm lifting up my pencil in between the windows where I don't have anything there yet. Top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom. Then I'm gonna erase, oops. Erase that. So now I have my row of windows. You can go back in and clean that up when you're erasing. When I erase, sometimes I erase things I didn't want to. Now, let's say I want to do some brick. So I'm going to do brick right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw lines from side to side. So now I'm going to keep my brick kind of big just so you guys can see it, but you could draw yours a little smaller. And I'm just eyeballing this, make sure I've got it pretty evenly spaced, drawing a line from one side to the other. I have to check, I keep stopping and checking to make sure this is still even, that bottom of that triangle is not moved away from the edge. I'm not like drawing like this now, but I'm keeping this going straight. Now you guys can get out your paper and you could draw this with me. What I would do is, if I was doing this, I would draw a little section, watch the video, and then stop and do mine. And then watch a little bit more, and then do mine. Okay, so now I'm going from this intersection that I created here on the corner of the building. Again, if you want, I like to just put it on the roof first, make sure that roof is right. And then I came down to this intersection. Now I'm connecting to this dot, but I'm of course stopping when I get to the end of that building. I'm not gonna draw that line all the way to that dot because I'm gonna mess up my paper. So I'm going from the corner of the building to the dot, and I keep having to stop too and make sure I still am on that dot here. That I'm not, it's easy to kind of move away from the dot and you find you're like down here and you're going, ooh, whoops, messed that up. So from the corner of the building to the vanishing point. You'll see my lines are going a little bit off the edge of the building, so I can clean that up later. And I stopped it right there because I hit that side. And that was a little goofy right there. All right, so now I could leave it like that. That's kind of like slats or siding on the side of a house. So you could leave a building like that if you want to. But I'm gonna turn this into brick. So brick is fun. I like doing brick. So I'm taking the base of my triangle to the base of the paper. Then I'm making sure it looks like it's pretty parallel. This looks like it's pretty good and parallel to that one. So now I'm gonna put a little vertical line in every other space. So I'm gonna start with the 1. I'm gonna lift my pencil for the 2, go to the 3, lift for the 4, go to the 5, lift for the 6, and so on and so on. And then I'm gonna come over just a smidgen because brick are staggered. That means they're not all, these lines are not all lined up. It makes them stronger, it makes them hold together better. That's why they do that. So again, make sure you're even here. Then I'm coming over about the same as I did here. Right here, and I'm doing the twos. So last time I was on the odds, now I'm on the evens. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do you appreciate? Your art teacher. And now I'm going to go over about the same amount again. Line this up. And then I'm going to go back to my odds. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And then I'm going to move it over smidgen. And then I go 2, 4, 6, 8. So I'm opposite. Odds, evens, evens, odds. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So now I've got brick. Now same thing on this side. So I ended up with my evens. So I'm going to go to my odds. I'm going to check for alignment. Take the time to align. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, we see a smidgen on the 10. Come over a little bit. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 2, 4, 6, 8. See, I didn't even look. I didn't even look to make sure I was aligned. I am though, thank goodness. Then I'm gonna come down, make sure I'm aligned. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Come over. 2, 4, 6, 8. 1, 3, 5. See, where they get really close together, then my eyes start going a little crazy. It's hard to see. Okay, so now I stopped it here because of course I got a building in front of it. So we're gonna leave that one right there. Now, I'm gonna show you how to do, let's say I wanted to do like one of those sky rises, those big tall buildings that are all glass. So I'm gonna decide where I want my, I'm doing it on this building right here. I'm gonna decide where I want my penthouse to be, my top floor, the top of the building. So I'm gonna draw a line. This is the side that faces me, so the side that has a flat roof. Side that faces me, side that faces me, side that faces me, side that faces the street, side that faces the street. So I'm only doing the side that faces me right now. I'm gonna come down a little bit, draw another line, make sure I'm aligned here. And then I'm gonna go to the vanishing point on the side that faces the street, because remember, draw on top of the bottom of anything, on the side of the building that faces the street, we have to use that vanishing point. Okay, so that's the top floor, and I'm gonna go to the second floor. I made that floor a little bit thick. So now I gotta make it even. Then I'm gonna do the same thing with this, going right to my vanishing point. This time I'm gonna stop it because I've got a building right in front of it, and I don't wanna go past that. Then we'll come down a little bit more. I was hoping I could kind of get that to line. Oh, I think I can. With my vanishing point, because I drew that so dark, it kind of will camouflage it. And then I'm taking my triangle to the vanishing point from the side of the building, stopping when I hit that building. Okay, now I think I could get one more in here. So right there. We'll see just the bottom of it right here, making sure I'm still on that edge of the paper. And then on this one, you're only gonna see the top part of it right here. Okay. Now I'm just gonna shade this in real fast so you guys can see it. Just take your time to shade, you guys. I'm doing this fast. And then I'm gonna draw the windows. And then I wanna show you how to do some, you take your time to shade this better than I am. I'm just trying to go fast. And then I'm gonna show you how to do a door. And then for the rest of the period of day 3, you're gonna add things to your building. So windows, doors, every building should have something on it. Oh, I did not get that very even, did I? Well, let's fix it right now. Like I said, you guys go a little slower than I am. I'm whizzing right through this. And then I see just a little bit of this one. You see still a little bit of the building underneath it. I mean, the next floor right underneath it, you see a tiny bit of it. Okay, so now I'm gonna draw my vertical lines. I mean, yeah, my vertical lines. So let's have one here. Maybe here. Now maybe you want those to just to align, because then that's the second floor. So this is like the steel floor. These are the windows. I didn't make them exactly even, but that's okay. Do that one. So really, if I had time, I might have added a couple more instead of making them that close. And then maybe just some little reflection lines. You could draw like windows in here. You could draw things inside. I'm just drawing like little reflection lines there. All right, so now, not crazy about this, but now I want to do a, let me do a door right here. So I'm drawing the door on the side that, like, this was going to be a parking garage, so I could drive my car up and go right in there. So I'm going to take the bottom of the triangle to the bottom of the paper, draw a line up, come over here, same thing, make sure this is even so that it doesn't look weird. Draw a line up. I'm making a really big door because I want to move that over because I want to be able to drive my car in there. It's a parking garage, so I'm making like a big, huge garage door. Now for the top of the garage door, I have to go back to that vanishing point. Top and the bottom of anything, back to the vanishing point. And then I'm gonna darken that up a little bit for the base. So then I'm gonna draw the floor. So I'm taking this to the side of the paper, base of the triangle, the base of the paper, side of the paper. And then there's the floor. Shade this in. Now this garage would stay open, so I could just drive my car right on in there. If you wanted that back garage door, the garage floor a little bit further up, I could move it up a little. So it was back a little further, I mean. Let's shade that in a little better. And then, let's say I want to do a door right here that you can walk through. So lining up the bottom of my triangle to the bottom of the paper, drawing my line up, coming over a smidgen, draw my line up, top of the building. I'm not just guessing, I'm not going from here to here because that's not right. This needs to be there. So I'm pivoting it up a little bit. That line wasn't quite tall enough, so I have to take the bottom of the triangle back to the bottom of the paper. And then I'm gonna draw another little line in between. Before I started this, day 3, I sharpened my pencil too. So I had a nice, crisp, nice sharp pencil. I put a little doorknob on there, and then you could walk through that door. Let's see, what else would I want to do? Maybe I'm gonna go back to doing just some siding, like I did on this one before I added the brick. So line from one side to the other, one side to the other, one side to the other, one side to the other. Because I want to show you on the side of the building when you have a building that's above and below the horizon line. So now for these lines here, it's important that you connect to that vanishing point. So I'm going from my intersection to the dot. That's at an angle. Then I'm going to pivot down, still make sure I'm on the dot. It's almost like I'm drawing a fan here. From that corner to that dot, from that corner to that dot. I'm almost even with the horizon line right now. I'm a little, yeah, I'm right pretty much on it right now. Now I'm gonna start sloping down from the vanishing point. So make sure I'm on that dot. I like to put my ruler right on the edge corner of the paper or on the dot and then move it. So when I say I'm kind of like at a fan fold here, that means these are the back of the building, the lines are closer together. The front of the building, the lines are a little further apart. And when I drew those, I was pivoting. So I'm above the horizon line, above, even. Then I'm below, I'm below, I'm below, I'm below, I'm below, I'm below. Okay. So the other thing you could do is maybe I could do some Maybe I want to do like a big billboard. So let's say I'm gonna make a sign that advertises my favorite clothing store or my favorite musician or band. Or you guys listen to radio stations anymore? But I want to make like a big poster. I want to do some graffiti or something. So I can just make a big huge box that then I could draw my picture in or my graffiti in, my clothing store in, put some lettering in there. Maybe I want to have a big pet store and I would have some little puppies in the window or kitty cats in the window or a big fish tank in the window. Whatever you wanted to do, you could then draw on that. So the same thing on this side. If I'm going to the vanishing point, if I want to do a mural here, then I'm going to come down to the bottom of the paper. So I'm drawing my my square within a square, and then the bottom of it would be back behind that building so you wouldn't see it. Could erase that little line. So I could draw in there whatever I wanted to have in there. So then the last thing I want to show you is how to do some lettering. So let's say I wanted to write the word Nike. Let's say I want to make a Nike store. So I'll do it here on this building. That's perfect because it's way up tall there and people would see it for miles and miles. So I'm going to make a couple guidelines first. Again, bottom of the triangle, bottom of the paper. Draw a line from side to side. You guys don't have to have words in your buildings, but if you want to draw the words, I want you to draw them in perspective. So that's the top of my letters are going to hit here. The bottom of my letters are going to hit here. Then I'm going to draw the side. Now they're going to be harder to do on the side because you're at this weird wacky angle and it's smaller on that side, so it's hard to get things in there. So Nike has 4 letters. So I'm going to divide this space into 4 spaces. And this, again, that looks off. That top looked a little off for me. I got a good eye after all these years for this. Okay, now my N, so I've got 4 letters, I'm sorry. I'm gonna divide this space into 4 even spaces. So first I'm gonna divide it in half. So that's 2 spaces, and then I'm gonna divide each half in half. So my N's gonna be here, my I, my K, my E. So to draw the one side of my N, I'm gonna take the triangle at the bottom of the paper, make sure it's straight up and down. I don't want it to go all the way to the edge, so it came in from my little mark a little bit. Line that up. And then I'm just going to connect my diagonal. Now my I, make sure it's even here. And then it's bottom of the eye. So that's right on my guideline. The top of my eye, right on the guideline. The K, making sure that's even. It's getting dark in my room. It's getting a little darker. So make sure you have good lighting. And then my E. And when I open the blinds, it creates a crazy shadow for my, where you guys can't see this, where my camera is. Okay, so that's my Nike. Now I'm gonna erase those little guideline marks. I'm gonna erase the top and the bottom line where you can see it. And then I'm gonna just make these letters a bubble. I'm gonna make them a little thicker so they're not just skinny little lines. So to do that, I'm going to just like kind of draw a line right next to it to make them a little thicker. Bolder. Create a little contrast here, make it stand out. People driving down the road will be like, Nike, I see that sign. Catches my eye. And then the E. Okay, I'm gonna work on that a little bit more later, and then maybe I wanna put a little swoosh. Oh. Because the Nike is not the same without the swoosh. All right, so the side that faces the street, you really want to make sure you have a nice sharp pencil. So again, I'm dividing this to 4. The N's gonna go there, the N, the I, the K, the E. Now I'm making this really small. Now if this is really, you're like, ooh, I can't do that. Don't worry, you don't have to put buildings on the side of that face the street. So the N, now I'm gonna draw this center, because it's gonna be kind of hard to tell what this is anyhow. Because that, now if I had a little, I'm sorry, I messed up. If I had a little bit of a bigger, longer building, it might be easier. So I'm going to do the one side of my N, the other side of my N, connect the center. And the one side of my K, I, and then I'm going to do my I. Then I'm going to do my K. Then I'm going to do my E. So it's really hard to read that, you guys. So maybe you don't even want to do building words on the side that face the street. Okay, so then all you want to do now is get something on each of your buildings. And then tomorrow we'll talk about whether you want to outline this with black marker or whether you want to add some color to it. Okay, when you're done with day 3, you've got something on each of your buildings. Take a picture of it, turn it into Artsonia. Thank you.